Alright, hello everyone, and straight at the beginning of this video I want to quickly say that at the end of this video I'm gonna be doing something which I've never done before, which is kind of talking over a bit of news from not really the real life, but more from like the YouTube scene. I'm not gonna say exactly what am I gonna be talking about because it is kind of broad topic, and yeah, I would probably spend solid 5 to 7 minutes talking about it at the beginning of the video. And yeah, let's just say that watch this video till the end. It's gonna be basically just me saying news. If it will somehow catch on and people will actually like it, maybe I'll start doing the Gloria Burger kind of a thing that the PewDiePie is doing on the channel for a couple of years now. It was something which I always wanted to do, you know, talking about controversial stuff and all that things. Still though, for now, let's go to the actual video. Hello guys, my name is Kiminekyt, and welcome to this new video in which we are gonna be watching playing in his Löwe. Now, don't get me wrong, but there is no freaking way anyone will be able to pronounce this thing correctly, so I'm gonna be calling you throughout this video. Hope you don't mind that, but seriously, you chose a really fucking stupid name. Still, the U is playing in one of my actually pretty favorite tanks called the Löwe. Now, this is actually one of my most liked tanks in the entire game. It is not like my most loved tank in the entire game, but it is definitely a tank which has the highest nostalgic value for me. Because this is actually the first premium tank I've ever bought in this game, and actually the only premium tank, not the only premium tank, it was actually not just the first premium tank that I bought in this game, but it was also the first premium tank that I bought for my clan, because some time ago on a tier 8 the IS-3 actually wasn't so dominant, and the Löwe was actually one of the more popular picks on the tier 8, so yeah, I also had it and I absolutely love this thing. So straight at the beginning of this video we can already see how good is the armor on the Löwe. A lot of people do underestimate it, do think that it's somehow weak or anything, or something like that, but remember it was recently buffed, and if I'm correct it was recently buffed like twice in a row, so it's actually pretty damn thick at this point. Also, the lower plate, if I'm correct, is about 200 millimeters thick just from the pure raw angling, and if you decide to angle yourself like this, it can get to about 220 millimeters, which can get to be quite deadly. Ow, man, that was kinda loud. 53 TP, did you seriously have to do this shit? My freaking ears. Either way, right now we decide to take a swing in the enemy IS-3, hoping to penetrate a tiny little thing above its gun mantlet. Sadly, you weren't able to penetrate it. It's very difficult to hit, and yeah, it's one of the only things you can penetrate when you see an IS-3 hold down like this. Well, it's not exactly hold down, but it's pretty close to being hold down. You weren't exactly able to put another shell over there into him, and right now he got kind of pissed about it. The enemies over there are just hiding, and look at this. Here comes the Godzilla. The STG is down, the enemies struggle to penetrate your armor, and the first enemy that actually managed to penetrate your armor was the enemy Löwe. That is another thing that I forgot to mention about this tank, and that is that it has pretty decent penetration of 234. That's remarkably high amongst heavy tanks, and it only shows to you why this tank was actually so popular back in the day. It is ridiculously good penetration, alright. It might not have all that much DPM, it is like 1600 DPM, which is definitely not something world breaking, but the penetration definitely makes up for it. It is also a pretty accurate tank with a lot of armor. It is an old and mobile, but yeah, as I said, it has a lot of things going for it. As we might see, the U was already capable of blocking over 2000 damage, and he was already nearly capable of causing 2000 damage as well. And the game is only 4.5 minutes long. But on the flip side, he was only traveling to the battlefield for the first 2.5 minutes or so, so we can kind of see that this thing is seriously pretty damn slow. Still, at this very moment the enemy IS-3 is one shot away from death. Well, make it 0, as the U was right now capable of shutting the IS-3 down. The ML1 is probably at this point still reloading, which means that he can actually engage it full on head front. There we go, D-track, and finish off with a ram. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention about this tank, the Löwe is an incredibly heavy tank, which means that you can actually ram with it rather easily. There we go, the enemy Löwe decided to take a swing at you, but wasn't able to penetrate your thick-ass armor. On the other hand, he wasn't, however, capable of angling himself correctly, which meant that you were capable of putting a pretty nice shell into his lower plate. This fight can take forever, however, this fight can take forever. So you need your team, you need to help your team with this enemy Löwe. You are soon enough gonna realize that? Are you gonna realize it? Yes, the U is a smart boy and he's going to realize it. There is the enemy M4A1 Revolver. I still can pronounce the name. Simply Ravioli over there, which was capable of putting, if I'm correct, second or third penetrative hit of this game into one shell into the enemy VK101P as he's slowly turning towards you, shifting his attention towards you and shifting it straight away from you as he probably shut down his brain. What the hell's that BK doing? Is he a bot? Did he get a stroke or something? What the hell's that VK doing? Look at him. There's no chance this is a genuine man. Alright, I'm gonna quickly stop here in case there's gonna be some Wargaming staff member watching this. There's no chance this is a regular player. So here we have his name. Bombell71. There we go. Here we got, you can report this bot. There is no chance this is a genuine human being playing this tank like this. No freaking chance. Either way, the enemy bot has been taken down, and the enemy Löwe decided to reposition himself to a more favorable spot from where he can actually shoot at your team and not be too preoccupied with just attempting to angle and sidescrape your shells. Well, yeah. So though, here you can see the thick ass of the Löwe, and you decide to take your opportunity to take it down and claim the 4th kill of this game. And where are more enemies? There is the enemy Ravioli. He wasn't able to penetrate your gunmantlet, if I'm correct, which costed him life, as you decide to take that opportunity and take him down as well. There is the enemy Progetto 46, decided attempting to actually flank you, but it's not really working out so well for him, as we might see. He nearly got damaged by your teammates over there, and you are already shifting your attention towards him. He got one nasty shell into him. You decide to snap a shell at him, and he somehow managed to hit him. This gave you the 6th kill of the game and a top gun. There's the enemy Centurion, another snapshot into him, giving you the 7th kill of this game. But there are still 6 enemy tanks remaining. Thankfully enough, your team is doing really well, which means that this is gonna be quite a bit of an easy game. I should once again point out that the U is playing in Löwe. Alright. This is a freaking Löwe. This is not a defender, this is not a patriot, this is not a libertaire, this is none of those bullshit ass broken tanks. This is the good old German Löwe. Man, I love this thing. A lot of people tend to underestimate it, thinking that it's like outdated and everything, but man, this thing is still kicking. This thing is still kicking strong. There was enemy AT-15 attempting to go into your base, and he probably just realized that it might not be the greatest idea to just wander off into the middle of a desert. Yeah, that was a pretty dumbass idea. Still though, he realizes he's being shot at, so he decided to turn around and start going behind this hill over here, which blocked your view of him and you weren't capable of shooting at him. But you decided to reposition into more favorable spot from where you can actually hit him. Alright, there we go, aiming, and a shot into his track. That was a pretty lucky shot, giving you nearly 500 assistance damage done. What an amazing D-tracking. Lucky D-track. Still though, your team was capable of finishing off with the AT-15, which means that there are only 5 enemy tanks remaining, most of which are actually decently powerful tanks, such as the Su-130PM, the Charioteer, or the Burzig. Also, the Sturzwing S1 is a pretty damn good tank. I would kinda hesitate about the Black Dog nowadays. I would overall hesitate about the light tanks nowadays, because I don't really feel like they are somehow too much of a good tanks. I feel like the pros are mostly playing like medium tanks nowadays. So there's the enemy Soviet tank destroyer. You decided to take a swing at him, but you weren't capable of connecting your shell with his hull, which meant that you weren't able to cause any damage. Your buddy over there in the IS-6, which by the way isn't necessarily your buddy but just a platoon mate that decided to invite you into his platoon during this game, just died, as well as one of your teammates, making this a pretty equal match because there are only 4 enemy tanks remaining and only 4 allied tanks remaining. So this is gonna be still quite fun to watch. You decided to take a blind shot over there and you weren't capable of connecting that shell. You only scared that little Soviet tank who sent babies to fight against me. Alright, a second shell at the Su-130 PM, capable of penetrating that tiny amount of armor that tank has on itself, securing you the 8th kill of the game. Right now we are gonna ambush the enemy Burzik, which alright, let me show you one thing. What the hell is that traverse speed? Did you see that shit? The Burzik turned in like a freaking instant. You're trying to bait out the shell at this point, but you weren't able to bait out the shells. Instead of that, you made your team actually shoot at him, which got him killed. And there was just one single enemy tank remaining. Your team actually finished off most of the enemy tanks. In the meantime, I didn't even realize that. The enemy charioteer is the only tank remaining. And be careful, because that tank can actually quite easily penetrate you, especially with its premium shells, which it probably loaded a plenty of, as I know charioteers. Was it such a common stereotype that these guys tend to load in full high explosives or just freaking premium shells? I got no idea. Like, the charioteer doesn't really have the worst penetration of all. Give me a second. I'm gonna quickly Google it. All right, there we go. Tanks.gg. I'm gonna go. I didn't remember the exact amount of penetration that the charioteer has, but let's see. There is a charioteer. Its Top Gun has 268 penetration. Yet still, for some reason... Oh yeah, that is why they are going with the premium rounds. It actually has the hash rounds. I didn't know about that. When was that change? Was it always like that? God, I don't even remember that. Christ, man. Still though, the charioteer is still kicking. He's still going strong. He just took a hit from your Muts. That fucking swoosh thing. Man, I hate Muts. That thing is really annoying to pronounce and really annoying to face. I doubt it's as strong as it used to be, but it's still an annoying thing to face. Alright, the charioteer is one shot away from death. He was capable of, he took care of your Muts, which means that there are only 3 allied tanks remaining, one of which is actually you, and there is only a very low chance that the charioteer will be capable of finishing you off. On the other side of this hill, you can see the Patriot actually attempting to steal this kill away from you. Please, no! The Patriot actually claimed that kill for himself. Still, it was an absolutely amazing battle. And as a confirmation of just how much of an amazing battle this was, we will look into post-game stats, where we might see that the U was capable of getting himself 9 medals in total, 5 of which were a bit less rare medals and 4 of which were the bit more rare medals. Out of the bit more rare medals, he was capable of getting Radley Walters medal, Steel Wall medal, High Caliber medal, and a Top Gun medal. These 3 aren't somehow super special, but the Radley Walters medal is a pretty damn nice one. He actually were capable of getting 8 kills. That is quite impressive in the Löwe. So though, in the team score we might see that the EU was capable of dealing over 7,000 damage total and capable of claiming, I want to say, over 8 kills for some reason, as if he was somehow capable of getting like 8.2 kills, but no, he was capable of claiming 8 kills in total. Additionally, he was able to earn over 2,100 credits. That is ridiculous. Just as the amount of credits he made in this game. Man, you were able to get 250,000 credits. What the hell? I haven't seen such a large amount of credits in a single game in a long time. Either way, as I promised at the beginning of this video that I'm gonna do this kind of like a news kind of a thing at the end of this video. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now. So let's roll the replay while I'm gonna be talking in the background. Alright, so yesterday I watched a video made by MadPad where he talked about... Alright, in case you do not know who a MadPad is, he's a content creator, he's a YouTuber which made one of the currently biggest channels on YouTube called The Game Theorist, which is currently sitting at over 10 million subscribers, if I'm correct. Still, another thing that the MadPad is kinda known for is that he tends to like to talk about a lot of negative things that the YouTubers face, like big ass problems that the YouTubers face, and he kinda like rides along these shockwaves that sometimes shake the entire world of YouTube. An example of that was when he, in the September of last year, talked about the Article 13 and how exactly it is going to affect all of the content creating stuff on the YouTube. How it is just like a big ass middle finger to all of the content creators that are on this platform. And how basically it is just greedy recording labels and everything like that want to earn more money because fuck yeah, capitalism. If we have got to completely starve out everybody that is less rich than we are. Amazing idea. Definitely going to work out fine and not going to bury us under the ground. Still, that is not the point of this kind of a thing that I'm doing right now. The point is that yesterday he was talking about how a certain specific company called Defy Media, which is an MCN company, stole 1.7 million from him and 49 other YouTubers. Now, in case you do not know what has happened exactly, like what an MCN is, the MCN is not like some kind of an upgraded version of the Marvel Cinematic Universe or anything like that. The MCN stands for Multi-Channel Network, which literally is exactly what the name suggests. But what it does is quite simple. It is basically like a shield for content creators that they put up against all of the lawsuits that are going up against them. That is how the MCN works right now. Back in the day, it was like the only way you could actually monetize your videos, because in case you do not know, in like the year 2012, you couldn't just slam advertisements on your video and call it a day and start earning money. No, back in the day, you had to find an MCN which found you a certain sponsor, which then asked you to put sponsorship on, if he could put like a sponsorship on your video. Then it released the video, and depending on how many views that sponsorship received, you just got paid that much money. That was the only way you could actually get paid on the YouTube, and that was probably the time the MCNs were the biggest. The most notable of these MCNs since that time is probably Machinima, which, by the way, recently, a 12 million subscriber Machinima YouTube channel just disappeared overnight. No one knows where it went, no one knows what happened to it. It just disappeared from Earth's surface. It just went somewhere and no one knows where it went. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. The MCN nowadays, however, works like a servant shield against lawsuits. What it basically does is still find those sponsorships and everything like that, but it instead of just doing necessarily like sponsorships on your channel, on your videos and everything like that, they do a sponsorship on a certain event, like let's say TwitchCon or something like that. They put a sponsorship on that certain specific TwitchCon and they start earning money from that. And you could think of it like those 50 different content creators give a portion of their power. They give their views, the power of their views, to this MCN, which then can say that, hey, we received this many and this many views. Then the MCN goes to a certain sponsor and gets like different donations and everything like that. And then the MCN can protect the channels from different lawsuits. Because in case you don't know, a lot of the media companies tend to be quite greedy nowadays, and they've realized that there are a lot of holes in the YouTube system and that they can pretty much copyright strike channels endlessly, and that the YouTubers cannot do anything against them, because if they'll even attempt to remove that copyright strike, they could essentially get banned and end up with a pretty nasty lawsuit on their head. And the MCN basically, yeah, they just go to that certain specific company, and using the power of their views and the friendship on their side, they'll just talk a bit about if that copyright claim couldn't be removed. And it usually gets removed. It is a pretty effective strategy, and it works for many channels. The problem is that currently more and more of these MCNs are just bailing out. They just take their money and they disappear. They disappear with all of that money. Now, it is a pretty cheesy strategy and a pretty annoying strategy to say the least, but that is kind of the reason why I'm doing this, to kind of spread the awareness, even though that I don't really like doing it. Yeah, I'm usually just randomly saying it, that kind of stuff on my Discord channel. By the way, definitely join my Discord server, it's gonna be in the description. Definitely join it. I'm talking about a lot of stuff like this on there. You can also fake my videos directly, and you can also be in my videos if you go on the Discord channel, Discord server. Still though, the reason why I'm talking about this is kind of the reason that recently I also was asked by one of the MCNs if I do not want to join them, which is kind of ridiculous considering the fact that I'm a subscriber, and I'm a channel with a subscriber amount of like 1,000. I got only 1,000 subscribers, which is a pretty small amount of subscribers, yet still an MCN asked me if I do not want to become a part of them. I didn't know what an MCN is at the time, so I declined the offer. Additionally, I saw that they would want to take away 50% of my ad revenue, to which I was like, hell, I'm making just a couple cents a month. What the fuck do you want to take away from me? Also, if my channel would just randomly kick off, 50% is pretty ridiculous amount, so I decided to be like, nah, I'll pass. But now, I'm seeing that I did a good thing, and that a lot of the MCNs are currently bailing out. So, yeah. So though, I don't know what else should I talk about, what else should I point out about this thing. I kinda said my message, so this is gonna be the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Bye!